I'm Robert Williams from MetalRules.com, and joining me tonight in Austin, Texas is Gary Holt of the legendary Bay Area thrashers EXODUS. How you doing today, Gary?
Good, how are you?
Great, thanks. So your latest album, Exhibit B, The Human Condition, came out this past May through Nuclear Blast Records. How's the reception been so far for the new material after you played some high-profile tours like the recent Rust in Peace 20th anniversary tour with Megadeth and Testament?
And the reception's been amazing. You know, it's just been one of the most well-received albums we've ever done. You know, it's like, you know, I couldn't be happier with that. You know, and we're just trying to stay busy right now. You know, playing the songs live. You know, a few of them, which you know, they're a lot of fun to play live, which is always important. And you know, people respond quite well to them, so you know, we're enjoying it.
Was there a lot of camaraderie between the three bands on that Rust in Peace tour?
Oh hell yeah, especially us at Testament, you know, because you know, we're both Bay Area boys, you know, and we had a good time. It was a lot of fun, a lot of drinking,
so
a lot of Jägermeister consumed on that one.
How do the two albums tie together? You know, you have Exhibit A, Exhibit B. Will there be a C or?
No, this is the final exhibit. You know, they're tied together more musically and just how the idea came about, because you know, when we did Exhibit A, we had too many songs to even physically fit on one disc, you know, and they were all just really killer stuff, and so we toyed around with the idea of releasing the album as like a 2-disc release. And you know, and we were gonna call Disc 1 Exhibit A and Disc 2 Exhibit B, you know, and then you know, just you know, that's a little cost prohibitive, you know, your manufacturing costs go up quite a bit if every album's a double release basically, and so we decided, well, we'll still release it as a 2-part release, you know, Exhibit A and Exhibit B, you know, but musically, you know, they bookend each other, you know, because you know, the intro to Exhibit A is the outro to Exhibit B, but a different version, and the outro to Exhibit A is the intro to Exhibit B, you know, so if you listen to them back to back, and that's a lot of metal, you know, because they're not short albums, you'd hear how they musically segue from one into the other.
A lot of metal. It clocks in at an hour and 14 minutes. Were you guys going for more of an epic feel this time around? Was it a conscious decision, or just turn out that way?
Nothing's conscious. We're going to write the songs we want to write, and they're done when they tell us they're done, you know, like, we never sit and go, well, you know, looking at a stopwatch, you know, I didn't know how long anything was till we recorded them, you know, you could see it right there on the monitor, you know, when the song had played through, we're like, you know, Andy would go, do you have any idea how long that song is? Like, not at all, tell me. Sun Is My Destroyer was like 9 minutes something. I was like, wow.
So Andy Sneap produced the new album, yet Peter Tagtrin of Abyss Studios and Hypocrisy fame made a guest appearance on The Sun Is My Destroyer.
Yeah.
How did that collaboration with Peter come about?
Well, Peter's been like one of our closest friends for quite some time now, and I did a solo for Scrutinize on the album Virus, and so I just called in my favor, you know. It's like, all right, I gave you a solo, you know, just go shout in the mic for a few times, and you know, I just sent him an MP3 of the track, and he sent it back to me like the next day, and it was perfect, you know.
And also another guest appearance, Brendan Small, creator of Metalocalypse, does a guest guitar solo, and you guys also worked with John Schnepp, also of Metalocalypse fame, on your latest video, Downfall. How did the working with the Metalocalypse guys come up, and do you think you'll be on a future episode, or? Yeah,
if we get time. I mean, we're just really, really good friends with all those guys, you know, and we just kind of met and hung out, you know, and you know, Brendan and everybody are big fans of the band, and we worship the show, you know, and we just met and hung out, and he's like, why don't you come down and do some voices, you know, and like, so we did that, and that was the most fun I'd had in years. That was awesome. And then you know, he's an insane guitar player. He's just so sick, and we asked him to do a solo, and the solo he did is just crazy bad. It's awesome, man. It's just shredding.
Yeah,
it's nuts. I'm glad I don't ever have to try to play it live. Yeah, I can't do that shit. You know, I'm a different sort of guitar player.
So tell me about, you guys recently filled in for Kingdom of Sorrow at the August 14th San Bernardino Ozfest date. What was that experience like for you guys? Did you infiltrate a more mainstream audience, you think?
Nah, it very much seemed like an Exodus audience to me. They were killing each other, you know. We had by far the biggest pit of the day, you know. It was awesome.
So let's talk about the Let There Be Blood release, where you guys re-recorded the classic Bonded by Blood album and tribute to Paul Bailoff with your current lineup. What were you most concerned with when walking into that project? Was it the production value, the performances? I mean, re-recording such a revered album seems like quite a challenge.
It was a little bit of everything. We just, people like some people, oh, it's too polished or whatever. It's like, man, we spent longer recording Bonded by Blood than we did this one.
Really?
Like someone asked me if how much one interview I did, they asked how much rehearsal time we put in on it, and I said none. Not a day. It's like, if I can't play Piranha in my sleep by now, I shouldn't be doing this. I should find another job, I don't have to practice and go into like rehearsals to play Bonded by Blood and then There Were None or Exodus. Those songs are like part of our DNA. It's like, there's the easiest thing you could have had to do. It's not like we're doing a new album where you're writing something new and you have to like, get it mastered before you go in. We've got, decades of mastering these songs,
So, Limit on the Horizon, you got some dates coming up in Germany, Thrash Fest dates with Creator. I wanted to ask you where you all left off last tour, the final night of the Creator Exodus tour. You guys got up on stage dressed as cheerleaders, jumped on stage in drag when Creator is playing Flag of Hate. Do you think Milla and company is going to get you back on the Thrash Fest dates?
I don't know. He had every opportunity to do it when we went to South America, and he never did. So,
so whose idea was that?
It's mine. They always did. They did the spelling out hate, for Flag of Hate, and we'd always listen to them do it, and we'd always give me an H, give me an A, and Epicurean's merch girl Hannah, she dressed like that daily. All that shit was hers. The tutus and stuff. She got like 5 tutus, in various colors, and stuff, and so yeah, we made him break character big time.
So he's had a chance to get you back already in South America, you said, right?
Oh yeah. Millie's not the big. I mean, he's one of my best friends, but he's not the biggest prankster. I guess that leave that up to us.
So tell me about, speaking of South America, when you were playing in Maracay, Venezuela, and the fans broke through a barricade over there. Were you able to continue that night?
We only played, I think, 6 songs.
Are they always that rowdy and crazy for you guys over there?
In South America? That was our first time in Venezuela, but that was awesome, and I was real disappointed that the barricade was so shoddy because everything else involved with that show was top-notch, like the hotel, the equipment, everything was just perfect, but they had a barricade basically made out of scaffolding material, and it was a huge show, several thousand people, and it just collapsed under the weight, and we had to stop because people were going to get hurt,
So I was talking to a friend of mine, Thomas Christie, who webmasters for a couple bands, and mentioned to him you were going to do the interview today, and he told me to ask you about the original headwalker, Toby Rage, who recently passed away. What are your memories of Toby Rage?
Toby was as much a part of this band as any band member,
really?
In the Bonded by Blood era. He was one member of our small select group of friends we called the Slay Team. Their sole job was to accompany us to our shows and wreak havoc, And Toby was the GOAT, the greatest of all time. There's never been anybody anywhere who could stage dive like this guy. Not even close. I've got pictures of that dude 20 feet above the crowd, coming off the top of the PA, and he always looking at the camera. That's what makes his picture so great. He's always looking straight at the camera, giving the full face shot and the full expression, and he's like a million miles in the air. And he used to he'd run off the front of the stage, stepping on people's heads, and I've seen him make it, 20 feet out there, just walking on people's skulls, the whole crowd just, everybody comes out of there like 2 inches shorter, because he was like about 6'4", scrawny guy, but, still has plenty of weight to like, compress a vertebrae or two.
So after this current tour with Malevolent Creation and Holy Grail wraps up, what's the immediate plans for the future?
Well, we leave 2 days later for Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and the whole trek across Asia. So not much rest for the wicked.
Thrash domination.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Very cool. Well, hey, thanks so much for taking the time to talk metal, Gary.
Any
last words for your fans watching at home?
Ones watching at home, if you're actually at home, I'll be there in a few days, and everybody else, thanks.